Hey, what's good? What's going on? Welcome back to
FOREX Is Stupid.
and man, we still here. You feel me? Still here. We're starting from scratch. So thank you for tapping in. If you've been here so far and you like what I've been putting out, or you're still confused and you're still trying to figure out if I'm confused, just go ahead, press that bell. It helps encourage me to get back on here every week, no matter what I got going on my crazy schedule. And I'm a guilty person when it comes to procrastination too. So anyway, today we're gonna dive in to these charts. I'm trying to stay on them as much as possible and not be overboard. Um, if I see a call that I can make, excuse me, off the back, I won't delete anything. I'll see if I can get it. Boom. If I don't see a call that I can get off the back, we'll go ahead and delete that marking for the previous week of the day, remark it, and see if we can get it thing. All right, bet. Let's get into it. Gotta have your coffee or your tea, some water. Make sure you drink some water. I'm get to play. Make sure you drink some water. All right, so we always spend so much time on gold. So I mean Nas 100. So we're gonna go from gold, Nas 100, GBP, JPY, and JPY USD. All right, since we're already here on gold. So we're gonna go over the notes that you guys and I have typed up on here last week, and you can see that as we're dropping them. Um, what else I say? Oh, these are all my thoughts. What I think is going to happen. I am trying to get more dedicated to putting these videos out on time with some other tips and tricks that I learned, and then dive inside my mind when I'm confused in the podcast. So trust me, it's all coming together. So this was a watch trade idea, and if it did exactly what we said it was gonna do, we was gonna get into that trade. So for this watch trade idea, it was a strong buy. Prices above pivot point of all time frames. I'm gonna throw my pivot point back up here so we can look at that. Uh, we're on the, let's go to the week. We're above pivot point. Pivot point is located right here. We go down to the daily. We're above the pivot points right here. On the monthly, the pivot points, as you can see, is down here. So the candlesticks are above the pivot point. So we're in that buy strong momentum that we were just saying. The daily shows that too as well. 4 hour, we're above the pivot point. As you can see, we broke above the daily high. We'll talk about that. And then on the 1 hour, we're above the pivot point, as you can see. All right, so the last trade that we took on this, a profit, and we wanted to see if we can get another go in this. We expected if price break above the previous daily high, we was going to buy. Price break above the previous daily sell. I mean below the previous daily sale, we was going. Price break below the previous daily low, we're going to sell. I don't know what I was trying to say right there. So right now, price is above the previous, the pivot point on all time frames. We saw price go dip from the previous daily low. As you can see, it made a high and then retest the area that it broke out of, which is here where the previous monthly high is. Boom, price broke up, create another high, pull it back to retest that previous, right? Pivot point is right here. Price goes back up into the previous daily low and breaks above the previous daily high. It also breaks above the previous weekly close. So we are looking to take this trade up to at least the previous weekly high, right, with last week. Since we're looking at this off the daily, this broke on yesterday. And this kind of toggled Tuesday. So this trade didn't really move the way you wanted to, but it was still in that buying momentum. And then it broke above yesterday. So even me taking away the pivot points, we'll throw on the volume. If you look down right here, you'll see that there's some green candles here and red candles right here. There's some more green candles. These are the volume indicator, and this is showing buying pressure right here. The last three volumes, right? They're not candlesticks, they're volumes. We see right here, there's some green. We're in a little bit of red, and there will be the pullback that we're currently uh, getting out of. And as you can see, boom, we're looking for price to go and try to break the previous weekly high. So I do see an area where we can just get into this trade. Um, I know we'd be like, oh, we'll find it, we're going to um, delete everything on the daily and the weekly. But if we find it, we could just go ahead and get in. So price broke well above the previous daily high, and we're going off of which candle? Um, period daily low. Oh yeah, okay, period daily open, period daily close. They're right in here, and then price break above. All right, so let's see if we can get like three, a 3-to-1 into this trade. I like it, so we're gonna go with it. Everything. I'm gonna go with it because of what we was looking for. Go enter in off the 1 hour. And you can see this be like a W. Boom, boom. Then we come here. Price is like right there at that neckline. So one price to come to here, and then we're getting in at the about right there. So, yeah. So let's make a long position. Let's see if I can get a 3-to-1 out of it. Mm, so this is what a pivot point. I'm gonna put my points is gold. Pivot points way down here. The last week is there. Right, this was above the previous daily high right here. And this was the week, I think. The red. The red was the weekly. Uh-huh. So I put my sell out somewhere under there. Yeah. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Hope you guys had a great week last week. And if you didn't, it's okay. It's okay. I always have a good week. Promise. I promise. Just because I'm on here, I'm getting on here and telling y'all, showing y'all how I do it. Don't make money every week. Sometimes you gotta know when to step back. Sometimes you have mental days. Sometimes you have bad days. You have losses. You have wins. You gotta be proud of them just as much as you proud of your wins. You know your losses. You gotta be willing to go through those too. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be talking to myself too. Um. So yeah, let's get it. So I would like to get in since price been here before. Price go past this. This will be the neckline here. And yeah, so we're gonna enter in here. Price been in before. We can put our sell loss right there on this where the wick was, but I'm gonna go a little bit under. So I'm gonna pull it back just a little bit, and then I am going to pull this to a 3-to-1. You know, two. All right, 3-to-1. And then even though that sell loss is kind of wide, honestly. Um, the wick got close here, so we just pull it back. And if it get that far, I'm okay with like missing out on the trade. You feel me? Because the sell-offs, I mean, the pivot point is way down here. It is showing some buying pressure. Price been there before as a sale. The opening of this sale closed here. Well, as a buy price, never been there, right? Till unless it was back in May 6th, right? So we're buying price enter. I feel like it's gonna give us a nice push to the upside, breaking because they need to break this obviously um weekly high nicely. So we'll see what they do for the rest of this week. Um, what they look like off the day time frame. Yeah, pushing this up and yeah, yeah. I like how that looks. Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna come back for those points for here. Um, because I still was looking for. We had a trade idea right here for the buy, and then we had I think it was a sell up if it did something different. So like I said right here, looking at a possible strong sell, beginning of a sell if price breaks below the pivot point and it didn't. Price is still above pivot point on all time frames, which I showed you. We will need price to break below the previous weekly close to sell. And it would be a nice little setup if we don't, that sell opportunity we are if it don't, then the sell opportunity we can continue to look for buying. Oh, if we don't, then that sell opportunity. If we don't get that sell opportunity, we're going to continue to look for buying opportunity if price turns around and breaks the previous daily high. I don't know how I can read my own writing. So price did just that. So I'm gonna keep this note here because I need to write it down. I'm gonna minimize it to like maybe 13. And then we're gonna create a new note. I'm gonna put the date beside. So today is the 5th of 7, 25. 25 notes. All right. So um price gave this strong move to the upside and broke the previous daily. Price is still above on all time frames. And only I think we were able to see a entry setup on the 1 hour time frame. Price created pattern with the pivot point above the pivot with the candles above the with the candles above the with price above the pivot point. So I'm gonna come back and put those points there. Honestly, um, actually, I could show you guys how. Mm, I mean, it's not really hard of how you get the entry, but I'll write my notes down, and I don't want to spend too long on this. You know what I'm saying? So when I talk about entry and exits, I'll give you more precise points of how I was doing. Okay. So we keep this note. This is the new note. And then this was the trade idea. The entry, SL, and TP. All right. So we're looking to travel to the previous daily weekly high. Ooh, I am going to keep those out there. And I'm actually going to lock these notes. And we're going to move on to the next trade, which is, excuse me, which is Nas 100. That is nice. This is nice. This is nice. This is nice. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right. Okay, 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 okay. I think we took that trade to the outside, and did we squeeze that? Yeah, we actually took profit on that one. That was good. That was good. Because I think I accidentally deleted this one. So this one was take profit here. Yeah, that's good. Um, so we're gonna duplicate this since that trade hit there. And I'm gonna point out some things before we delete this. All right. So let's read the notes that are left. Um, price broke below previous weekly low and came back to retest the previous weekly close or previous monthly low. Previous day low, but so price went down to the previous weekly low, but it did not break below that. Went back previous weekly open above previous weekly close, previous daily open, previous daily close, previous weekly high, the previous weekly high and the previous daily high was broken about the same time. And then we hit that TP, but it didn't break above this pivot point. Um, Price is still below that pivot point. Get something. Price is above pivot point on the 1 hour. Okay, so I can tell you, I'm going to tell you what I think personally. Um, and then we're going to go off with it. It's just that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that was the note. And then hold on, let me check out this other note. On the weekly time frame, price is above pivot point. Are we still above? Here we are. On the daily time frame, prices below pivot point. I think we saw that. Price is not below pivot point anymore. Price is bouncing. Oh wait, price on the 4 hour and 1 hour price is above pivot point. Price has broken a major trend line on all time frame. Price is bouncing off of a major support that needs to break into a major resistance to sell weekly time frame. We place a trade idea for a buy until price falls below pivot point on the weekly time frame. We must go to with overall trend. Price broke the previous weekly high and daily high. So that's how we got that trade. We went on with the trend, but a few things with this one right now that's getting me. So we'll delete that. Is I'm probably necessarily gonna delete the weekly, the monthly, and all that good stuff, yada yada, to be able to kind of get what I want, like what I need. But this is the major support that price bounced off of, but it didn't close below, and then it came back up to here. Um, we things I pointed out where price was on this nice little buy to where it stopped breaking structure. All right, so it started making the break of structure, and even this squeezed the break of structure, even here. Price fell below structure right here. As you can see, this is the left side, the neckline, right side, and then the other side of the leg of an M pattern. Um, Price falls all the way back down to this major support level, and then it bounces back up, right? But the key thing I want you to take away from this, even though price bounced back up, it broke the previous daily high and the weekly high. When you drop down to those time frame, let me move this. Price broke the trend line, broke above this pivot point, so it switched. It tried to break below this support, and then it bounced back into the support. All right, and then went back into the previous weekly high. And I see price kind of like dwindling a little bit right here. And me personally, I see price make this switch on this on a sell. It actually solidified this sell in back here. Let me go closer to the chart where you can see. Price is buying the overall high, low, and you broke it high, low, high, low. So it's equal here. That's why this happened down to the. So price made the break of structure, and then it actually disrespect the structure, created a trade of a change of character in the market when it broke below this neckline, and then this would have been the area price was having a hard time to break below as a support, and as you can see, price broke that level. So I feel like price is only retesting this neckline this trend line that it broke out of. You see what I'm saying? It did this yellow trend line like that, which was closer. Even though on the smaller time frame, like one was above the pivot point, it didn't break this trend line. It kind of like started dwindling. You're seeing strong buying pressure right here, and then didn't make this wick. So I then was able to go in the opposite direction of this trade, like a swing trade, to be able to catch that push and that momentum that is creating. But I do think this is currently going to sell because it switched the trend of the market. You feel me? It was break a structure, break a structure until it changed the character of the market. I think it's gaining momentum to break this major support, creating it to a what you call a resistant level. So, with all that being said, we saw we was able to get this trade. Um, we're going to mark up the previous daily high, previous daily low, because I think, like I said, I think this is going to turn around and go in that opposite direction. And I would like to catch that. And if it does break this major support, are we in the game? So we're gonna delete the no previous daily high and previous, because if you look, it's like all the previous daily high had bounced out that. Where's the hold on? Give me a second. Previous high, previous low, previous high, previous low. Price is back at that previous. Yeah, and I think it's gonna come back down. So we're gonna delete the weekly and the previous daily, and then we're gonna mark everything back up. We got no pivot point right here. Let me go to the weekly. I'll keep the major support there. We're gonna delete the weekly low. Stay with me. I know every time we get in this thing, it'll be about an hour that we'll be in here. And we always almost two trades down. So we have two more to go. You know what I'm saying? We have two more to go. This is how I'm looking at it. I really don't freaking know. I honestly am reprogramming myself in so many ways. So I figured if you can watch me and see how I start all the way over and learning this skill, obtaining this skill, being consistent with this skill, I feel personally, personally, we can go a long way if you get what I mean. So, uh, yeah. All right. The weekly is gone. The day is gone. Um, all right. So I think it's going to sell, but we're gonna mark up. Excuse me. Like I said, so we're gonna go back to the week. We're gonna mark this up. We got working off of the previous week. Purple is our monthly, so we're not going off of this week right now. We're going off the week was in with the March 28th. Trying to think. I was thinking, my bad. I was trying to think like in my head, like, how did I want that? I don't know. I don't know where I was trying to go with that in my brain. But anyway, sorry about that. We're gonna change this red and we're gonna put it here. All right. All right. I'm gonna move this real quick so I can see where the wick is at. I'm trying to figure out how I want it. Like I'm like because look, here's the thing. I'm trying to figure out how I want to place this, you know what I'm saying? So if I want to use this red, if it's gonna be too confusing, I don't know. All right, I think I got it. Let's label it before I move this back. Previous weekly open. So when you buy from the bottom, you close the top. And then previous weekly high. It doesn't have a low point. Oh, okay. Let's take back above that. It curved. I would like for it to fall somewhere though. Yeah, I'm looking for price to fall below the pivot point. 'Cause I don't know. I don't know how I'm trying to. Honestly, y'all, I don't know how I'm trying to look at this thing. To be honest, how I see this, I think I see a shoulder here, and a head here. So it'd be an inverted head and shoulder, not inverted, a head and shoulder as a head and shoulder. So I see it could be a trend line there. I don't want to force it. Could be about a nice one right here. Yeah, no. I think price is pulling back. So if price break below this pivot point, then I definitely want to look in that for a sale. But to get even more precise with this, um, so this is trying to move this thing out of my way. I did the week, trying to do the day. This is the Today's the 7th, so we gotta work off this game. Sorry. I don't know. I'm sitting here looking at it like, I don't know what I want to do. All right. Let me tap in. Let me tap in. I'm tripping. Preview daily. Open. We want to see if the price can break the previous daily low. Selling. Buying temporarily. I'm trying to figure this out myself. Okay, so I think we're gonna wait on this trade. It's above our pivot points, but it hasn't broken the previous daily high, previous daily low yet. So that's what I would want it to do. Break the previous daily high, previous daily low. Then it's showing selling pressure right here because if it keeps going up, it's going to probably pull back to retest this area. Hold on, because prices started this trend all the way up here. So I have to break the previous monthly open and then coming back up to this trend line. I don't see that happen because I definitely see it on this nice little trend break, and then I see this as a pullback. So price, I want price to come back to the previous daily low, and it would be right there in the previous weekly. You know what I'm saying? So we're expecting a set opportunity um today. So we're looking overall for a strong sell. I'm looking for a price to fall back below. Yeah. So let's see. Okay. I'm going to go get some water real quick and then I'll be back. So give me a second. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna smack him. And yeah, I'm gonna get smack it, but yeah, I'll let y'all know I'm up. You know what I'm saying? Cause it'll be like me trying to think. Um, but yeah, um, that's what I'm thinking. Um, no, yeah. If I from the previous day low, you could go all the way back down to this previous weekly open, and then all the way down to this major support level. So for time being, and for what I think, I'm gonna go with the sell. All right. All right. Mm, yeah. We'll see. That's what I think. That's what I got. So we did Nas 100. You know, it used to take me a pretty long time to do that one. So we did Nas 100. We're gonna go and do GP, JPY, JPY USD. We're gonna go look at news. So let's do it now. Let's look at news now. If you're still with me, press that button. I know it's a challenge. Stand in this thing, man. This will beat you up so fast, and you get worried about what people think, your friends are doing. So I'm showing you the raw part of it while chewing gum. And all right, so today is Wednesday, and we're looking for JPY USD and GBP JPY. Um, we'll go all the way back to Monday. We're gonna open the schedule out. GBP, we had a holiday on Monday. JPY did it as well, so it didn't. It was nothing. It was a great folder. Tuesday, GBP is yellow. No JPY news on Tuesday. Today, GBP is orange. JPY is yellow. Thursday, GBP is yellow. JPY is orange. And Friday, JPY is yellow. GBP is red. So you have, oh wait, tomorrow GBP is red and yellow. So tomorrow, Friday, you shouldn't trade GBP. All you got is today. So I wouldn't really trade it because it's yellow folders and red folders. The best time to trade that was Tuesday and Wednesday. So let's see what the market is giving for GBP JPY. Damn it. All right. I'll drop my whole phone. My whole mouse. GBP JPY um note said still looking for a strong buy. Price is above pivot point on all higher time frames. We're waiting for price to break above previous daily high and the pivot point to lock in opportunity to buy. So let's see if price did that. Okay. Get rid of some of this stuff. Time frame, y'all. I'm gonna day. Okay. Price broke above that it's a pivot point right here. And then price broke above the previous daily high, previous weekly high, and this monthly open and close. And then they pulled back to that previous daily, it pulled back to the previous daily open and it retested this pivot point. Hmm. Well, we was gonna get in right here on the previous daily high. We would have on this candle here, and even a little bit of this candle. You know, so this would have been the movement. And then price pull back. So you need to break above this pivot point, going back into these levels before we buy. I don't think it's gonna happen today. Let me see something. Yeah, so I'm seeing on this one that I do want to continue to push towards these back because we're above the pivot point for sure. All right, let's see what it do. Okay, it's pulling back. I can see that. So we're gonna catch opportunity off the pullback. Let's delete the weekly and the day. You gotta find some way to stay in it, you know what I'm saying? And you'll get it right every time. Shoot, you're gonna be losing. Like I heard this being this yesterday, like his first company failed. Failed, you hear me? He lost all his money, assets, he was homeless, he had a wife, he had a children. Homeless. Today he's being there. So with that being said, let's get into it. We're gonna mark it off the week, as always. This week right here. Last week was right here. Same thing for here. Um, all right. There's no low week, so this will be the high point for the week. So let's see price. Oh, we got to mark the daily. My bad. So this is today. We're marking this one. It's still above the pivot points, as you can see. Um, okay. Previous daily close. Favorite daily open. Then we got low. There's no high. All right, so we see the previous daily open falls below the previous weekly. I want to say that's the I want to say open of the previous weekly. Yeah, the close of the previous weekly. Previous daily open. And the bullish previous weekly open, previous weekly close. So price falls below the previous weekly close. Hmm. So that's a previous daily low. Price is right here with the pivot point. Right now we just break a break a structure. So we have to wait and see. Because I know it was heading for a buy in this whole direction. Trying to figure out. I don't know if I want to. I want to see it break the previous daily low. The sell. Quick. Wait. I'm looking for the buy. Cancel. Cancel. If I'm looking for the buy. Buy. Hmm. It's tricky because I think this is buying. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why I want to go with the GPY. I think I just want to watch it because it's above the pivot points in a smaller time frame. Um, since we are looking more for a strong opportunity, we're gonna see what it does. Yeah. So I just want to watch it because, like, it hasn't, excuse me, it hasn't broken previous daily low. Okay. So we broke up, it broke up the weekly. I'm gonna back down and retest this area. Hmm. Yeah, I want to see if we're gonna break the high. We're gonna go back up here. So I'm gonna see what they're gonna do for the week. All right. So that's that. And then we kind of know what JPY is looking. So let's look at USD. Hmm. I haven't looked at this. Let me look. Let's buy strong buy. Hmm. Maybe daily high. Not broken. Maybe daily low. It's broken down to the previous weekly upper. And it came back to retest. All right. So as far as notes goes, I mean, I kind of like this little setup, but it says, um, I don't know what this is. It doesn't matter. Um, so it says still showing more buying opportunity, very strong buying pressure on the 1 to 4 hour higher time frames are showing strong buy two. News is ugly for GPY and still ugly for USD. Um, Use this week to see if it breaks above the previous daily high at any time. Price is above pivot point on most of the time frames. So price did not break above previous daily high. Um, Previous daily price broke below previous daily low and previous daily weekly. So it was breaking structure, breaking structure, breaking structure. Wait, here. And it changed character here once it broke below the previous weekly. It broke into the previous weekly down to the previous weekly close, boom, and previous weekly open, boom, retesting. So yeah, mm, I think JPY was good up till JPY today. JPY USD is what it is yellow. Thursday. Okay. Friday. So you probably can use we can use JPY USD. Um, yeah. I'm trying to see if I want to place the fall back here. Hmm. Where's that? Definitely selling home. I don't know. I'll just wait because I think it may do a turn here. Because as you can see, price was selling pretty good, and then it pulled back and it's buy, and it's sold off. So there's previous high, previous low, made another lower low. So there's a lower high, lower low, followed by another lower low. Um, breaking, disrespecting the higher lows. So um, then you got down to here, it made this push to this low, right? But then it kind of looked like a inverted head and shoulder. So boom, 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 boom. Come back to the neckline, bite to here, here, or whatnot. Um, Previous high, previous low. Mm, Stellar pressure. I'm just trying to figure this out. Yeah, because it could be going back. I want to see what it do. So we're just gonna watch it. Let's see. Okay, my daily is my purple. I haven't broke the purple for the daily high or the low. So looking for price to fall below the previous. I do think this thing is trying to turn. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out sell, sell. Then it made this lower high. So price, I feel like price is buying. Um, this is on the weekly. Previous weekly high, previous weekly. Previous daily high. Price hasn't broke above the previous daily high. That fell below the previous daily low. Um, I like more of the buy. Not gonna count. Uh, right on this pivot point. We're above. I think you're buying, but I want to see what price gonna do at this point. It um break above the previous daily high. That's fine. I broke below a pre-daily low because I'm confused at this point, and there's times where I'd be confused in the market, so I'm not going to get in. It has a really nice clean setup, but I'm confused of which way I want to go. Like I know this is buying, but then also it switches the trend at this moment, and then it came below it. So the price come back up to what its previous daily high is and break above it, then we can trade at least to this resistant point. If price break that resistant point, then it's going to make this buy even stronger. All right, so let's go to GP JPY and then we're gonna call it. Wait. Mm, daily low. No. All right, let's see what we got for the notes. Let's watch and see how the trade moves this week with news. Still looking for a buying opportunity, wait for price to break out for the upside or downside. Um, it's still true. It hasn't broke to the upside or downside, but it is above this pivot point. So it's probably a bad time to trade it tomorrow because we saw GBP been terrible tomorrow. Yeah, it's red and yellow on Friday. It's red, yellow majority of Friday. On Thursday, excuse me, orange on today. Excuse me. So wait, let's do this. Mm, this, the yellow is the monthly. What's the week? Okay. My bad, I got a little confused. Turn me up. Everything gets deleted except the yellow. All right. All right. This is the week. Let me see. Hmm. I'm gonna come up with more things to talk about. Just talk your head off while you were like marking these, so they won't be so quiet with just music. So, so we're gonna put it here. Um, Yeah, there you go. We gonna mark it. This is the weekly. And there's no low. Previous week right there, previous day. I really know. I'm trying to figure out which color I can use to make this darker. It ain't too crazy. This one? I use this one. We open from the top. The price drop below the previous daily. Let's do this. I can give you an idea. I don't like GPP, JPY, but I give you an idea for the sell side. I'm gonna wait on the buy. Um, but I'll give you the idea so you can see what happens when I don't wait or versus when I get in, like risk it. Wait, because it's pretty daily high. It's that below. That's the open, it's the close, pretty daily low. Let's see, because I don't think this is gonna go anywhere, but we'll do it. Go back below the low. And here we'll put a sell loss and opening closing. And you can do um, yeah. So they may do something like that. I don't know. But you tell me if you like it or not. I'm not gonna put it into my trade, but I'll definitely mark it so you can see yourself. So we're gonna say trade idea. Um, all right, broke below, please stay below. All right, so this is all I got. I 9 times 10, honestly, I want to go with this buy that I'm seeing. Um, but we're gonna watch this because this could be like a squeeze, like it was here. Price did it before. So we gonna see what happens. It's kind of what I got right now. Let's see if I see any selling pressure. Yeah, green, red. So time being for me, I don't really like this sell for the sell. I want it to come up to the side for the buy, but we're just gonna watch it for time being. Thank you y'all for tuning in. We do begin on here, I'll be like, oh, tired and stuff, taking a long time, pausing, like, you know what I'm saying? But with all that said and done, I still made it, still showed up, still got on and showed you what I see, what I think. Um, I'm definitely trying to get better so I can get on and do these cryptos and marking up, and you can see how I feel, I think and I feel and all that stuff. But the main purpose of this is to show you that you can do it too. Learn the basic chart and just go in there, trying different strategies, skill sets, putting it all together to see if you can figure out what makes sense for you, wrapping it up in a little package that makes sense for you, and going in full faith. All right. So I'm building my confidence doing this. I'm building faith within myself because a lot has happened since the first time I started trading. And so this is like ground zero. So thank you for tapping in. Um, all right, I think I spent enough of your time. Those is what I have for this week. Um, we're gonna get more in depth, and I know I keep saying on each video, but I'm juggling a few projects. So with that being said, just stay tuned. Make sure you check us out everywhere. FOREX is Stupid. We have more coming for this year, and that's all I got. See you next time here at